Great. Good morning.
Good morning. You ready to go?
I'm all set. Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. This is Victor and Chris from Democrats Abroad Barcelona. That is Chris, and I'm Victor with Metropolitan. And as always, we love to give information that is useful to American citizens. And I'd like to take this time to thank Chris for a fantastic 4 years. I remember when you first came to me, Chris, and said you were hoping to see if I could get more involved to help you guys support your cause. I think you weren't even president or chair of the Democrats Abroad at the time. You were thinking about joining, and I was going to support you 100%. Anyway, Chris, please introduce yourself. Tell us more about yourself as well as a little bit about Democrats Abroad Barcelona.
Okay. Well, Democrats Abroad Barcelona has been in existence for the last 30 years. It is the official or part of the official international arm of the US Democratic Party. We are treated by the DNC, the Democrat National Committee, as essentially being a 51st state party. And so we have delegates to the DNC and so on. As I said, the Barcelona chapter was founded 30 years ago, and I'm the latest of a long list of chairs, elected chairs, to run the organization for the past 4 years.
Okay. And so, how can people, if they're interested in hearing more about the Democratic Party or the Democrats abroad, how can they do that?
Well, they can very simply go to democratsabroad.org. That's democratsabroad.org. Or they can just sign up to vote at votefromabroad.org, which is the platform, the neutral, non-party political platform that we use to allow any US citizen, any qualified US voter to register to vote and vote from wherever they may be.
Okay. So, Democrats abroad and vote from abroad. And are those organizations that you're currently involved with now?
Well, I'm involved with as the local chapter chair of Democrats Abroad for another sort of 24 odd hours until tomorrow, when my successor should be voted in, and then vote from abroad. Well, I'm involved with that going forward. One of the main things that I've done the past few years is a lot of the global advertising for Democrats Abroad. And Vote from Abroad is the platform we use for that. We can talk about that in due course.
Okay. So, tell me more about when would people. What are some of your thoughts over the last 4 years with you at the chair? How and why did you get involved with Democrats abroad?
Well, I got involved because of the kind of global emergency that was Trump. And I've been a US citizen since 2001. And I should clarify that even though I have this kind of English accent, which is from where I was raised, I've actually been a US citizen since I was sworn in San Francisco in 2001. My sense was that when Trump became president, that we were in trouble, and we had a lot of madness going on. And one night I was sitting here in Barcelona thinking, what the hell? This guy's going to blow up the world. What can I do? And long story short, I ended up at Democrats Abroad.
Okay. And can you tell us more about what your involvement has been since you became chair? What does a life in Democrats abroad look like for you for the last 4 years?
Well, Democrats Abroad as an organization, we are trying to get 6.5 million Americans living overseas, which is a lot. It makes us roughly the same size as the state of New Jersey, which is the 11th biggest state in the US. Our job is to try and encourage as many of those overseas Americans to vote. Now, those Americans are scattered amongst 8 billion people around the world, so they're hard to find. And so one of the things I've ended up being involved in is I've ended up being the chair in Barcelona, where we are chasing Americans locally. There's about 50,000 Americans resident in Spain full time, and then thousands upon thousands more students who are here for shorter periods. But one of the things I've got involved with is our global advertising campaigns as we try to reach Americans scattered around the world.
Okay. And so what are some of the highlights of what you've been doing here?
Well, one of the highlights really was that there's actually been many. I mean, firstly, I've met a ton of very interesting people here in Spain, from government people to the many luminaries that we've had on Zooms from the US. I've personally been able to ask questions to people such as Caroline Kennedy, to Amy Klobuchar, who was the presidential candidate in 2020, to Jamie Raskin, who was one of the leaders on the 6th of January committee, and quite a number of others. And, and then here, through networking and things in town, and the sort of great interest that locals, Catalans and Spanish people have in democracy generally, I've met a ton of other people.
Okay. And what is, let me ask you this. What are some of the mistakes that people make when they want to get registered to vote?
Well, one of the mistakes they make when they interact with Democrats Abroad, I guess, is that they think of us as being, Democrats only. But, the simple fact is that Americans living outside of the US are not as riven with political division as the ones who are in the US. So our main job really is to get people to understand that they can vote, and also to understand why they should use that right to vote from wherever they are. I mean, for example, one of the things we lobby hard about is taxation overseas. Americans and Eritreans are the two countries that are expected to pay overseas taxes US taxes on anything they make overseas. And so Democrats Abroad lobbies the US Congress to try and make the rules surrounding that easier. And so the mistake people make is that, sometimes they think, well, we don't want to be Democrats, so we shouldn't deal with these guys. When actually, what we're trying to do is make life easier for everyone.
Okay. And does Democrats Abroad get involved in local politics?
No, not at all. In fact, our charter prevents us from getting involved in politics locally. The only thing where we might do some stuff is that occasionally we get invited to appear as one of a number, all the parties really, in a local forum that might be educating students on, politics generally and why people should vote and so on. I mean, one of the things that has made this very rewarding is that local people here are very interested in making sure that young people participate in the process and that they vote come election time. Politics here is as messy as it is everywhere else. I think Churchill said that democracy is the least imperfect system that we have, and that's true here as it is in the US. But at the end of the day, if people don't vote, we don't have anything. And
Okay. So I know that you've really enjoyed, and you put a lot of passion and energy and sweat into chairing the Dems Abroad Barcelona for the last 4 years with fantastic results, both in the general as well as in the midterms. But what is the toughest part of your job?
Well, the toughest part of the job is that we're dealing with volunteers. So Democrats Abroad has 180,000 registered members around the world, more or less. And about 10% of those get involved as volunteers around election time. And, they do everything from phone banking to posters to running our IT systems, of which there's a lot, to advertising, to writing out. It's a huge list of stuff, the same as any local political campaign, I guess, would do, but with the additional difficulty of reaching US citizens rather than others. But these people are all volunteers. So the challenge really is to motivate volunteers and to get people doing stuff that they feel personally rewarding and that keeps them interested. So my job is to try and set the course for Democrats Abroad, set the broad goals, and then try to encourage everyone to do their part. Because, Yeah, we're like a beach of grains of sand. You know, if everyone does a little bit, every grain of sand, then we have a whole beach. If we if we don't, then the beach gets swept away.
Okay. And so you were talking about meeting interesting people here. Anything you can share more about your job and expand a little bit more on the interesting people part?
Well, I mean, Spain has got a great connection to the US. You know, the US consulate here, I say Spain, Barcelona and Catalonia. The US consulate in Barcelona was one of the first three established in the world when the USA was formed as a country. That has existed here ever since. At one point, it was actually the embassy to Spain, and it performs a very important role in terms of trade to the US, and in terms of looking after the many millions of US citizens who visit this part of Spain every year. And so there is this sort of enduring connection. And so through that, obviously I know the folks, some of the folks up at the consulate, and through that also I've met a lot of prominent Catalan and Spanish people, and really only on a casual basis because they're all interested in making sure that people vote like us. And then we've tried as Democrats to forge any connection that we can. And just over my shoulder, there's a photo of Dali's La Victoire de la Liberté, which is a statue that stands outside Cadaqués. And, it's the Statue of Liberty with both arms raised in a V for victory, but also V for vote. Now, we've used that image, a photo taken by me last time I was up there. Well, not last time, but one time when I was up there. We've used that in ads all over the world. It gets an amazing reaction from Americans who haven't seen it before. And that's what we've tried to do, is get them to vote and get them to click on links that would be with that photo when it's placed in publications such as the New York Times and everything else. So that's a symbol. That's one of, a symbol of Catalonia that's being seen all over the world on the back of our work.
Okay. Let me ask you this. A lot of people want to have the view, the perspective from the chairman of the Democrats Abroad on the 2024 elections and the ones that are right around the corner as well. Is there anything that you'd like to share with us?
Well, we have elections going on in every state all across the US, nearly every month. And Vote from Abroad has all the details of whatever's going on, as does democratsabroad.org. Looking forward to 24, Joe Biden is running again. He's done a really splendid job given an absolute disaster that was before him. And he's going to be criticized by everyone for being too old. But he is, the incumbent who has done a great job, and everyone is 100% behind him. So we're going to have another fiercely fought election in 2024. It looks like the other side seem to be maneuvering their previous president as a candidate, in spite of all the legal issues surrounding him. And so to me, it's never been more imperative to vote Democrat than now. We have this weird period we're going through in democracies everywhere, where major parties are actually anti-democratic. They're trying to be in the democratic system, yet they are advocating destroying the very system that allows them to exist in the first place. It's kind of incredible. So we're getting ready. It's going to be a major election. To me, I wonder how anyone sane who calls themselves in favor of democratic policies could follow the other side. But they do, so we have to be ready to meet them. I don't know whether it's appropriate to talk a bit about, what overseas vote have done to outcomes in the past.
Sure. I know. Actually, I was about to tee that up for you. See, how does the Democrats Abroad Barcelona or Democrats Abroad in general affect outcomes in the United States?
Yes, I mean, what we've seen is that overseas vote is becoming and has become much more important. So I'll just give you a quick example. The state of Georgia in 2020, when Joe Biden won, Georgia was won by 11,788 votes by Joe Biden. We found out afterwards that overseas votes that came in were 19,500. And, we know from that election that 90% of the overseas ballots that came in were Democratic votes. So that would give you in Georgia 14,500 Democratic votes, which was more than the margin of victory for Joe Biden. And we found the same happened in Arizona and in, I think it was 6 states at that time. And in other states, it was very, very a big part of the margin of victory.
So overseas voters are equivalent to roughly, what did you say,
well, in terms of number,
7th largest state?
It's about the 10th or 11th largest state, which would be New Jersey. But I think it's worth pointing out that votes come from every country and territory on earth, every single one. So think of the most remote place, Tibet or somewhere. American votes came from Tibet in the last election, and these votes went to all of the 50 states. Now, obviously, some states got more than others, but they were spread from all over the country. And so it's very, very important. If people want to have a stable America, and I personally think a stable America is key to the success, at least of the Western world, they need to vote. And if they want easier rules on taxation, for example, living overseas as Americans, they should also vote, because those votes count towards getting changes made.
Okay, so in 6 states, I want to make sure I understood this correctly. So because it's important that people understand and relate that their efforts here translate into results back home. So, can you expand on that a little bit?
Yes, I can. Well, as I think I've mentioned, I ended up kind of accidentally, but I ended up being the head of, or the co-head of the global advertising campaigns for the Democrats Abroad in 2020 and 2022. I was very happy that the chair of Democrats Abroad Global, Julia Bryan, actually received a letter from Joe Biden after the election in 2020, thanking her for all the efforts. She didn't say give my best to Chris. He didn't say give my best to Chris, but so it's not on my wall. But they know that it was effective. In 22, I'm pretty sure that we helped to keep the Senate for the Democrats and to narrow the margin of victory for the other side. I think right now they have a margin of 5 seats. If we were sort of being harsh on ourselves, we'd say, well, we were really concentrating on 15 states that we regarded as being swing states in the midterms. And so we didn't focus enough on New York and California, traditionally Democratic places, where actually that winning margin of seats came for the House of Representatives. But you live and learn and you move forward. The good thing is that over those 2 election cycles, the ads that we've run in over 40 countries on every platform you can think of that US voters would look at, generated 70+ million impressions. And so a hell of a lot of people saw those ads. They saw the Dali picture over my shoulder, and that prompted them to get out and fill in their ballots.
Okay. So we've heard about what your views are on 2024, what's to come. But what is next for Mr. Chris Reilly?
Well, for me, I'm, because everyone is democratically elected in our organization, we have a change that's very imminent this weekend. We're going to have a new board elected. That's 4 new people here. We have a number of chapters in Spain that are all doing the same thing this month. And we also have a Spain group which works within the larger global organization, and they're having elections too. So we'll have a new set of leaders, and they're going to take us through the planning and through everything that's going to happen leading into 24. And for me, well, this has been a nearly full-time job for the past 4 years, and but entirely voluntary. And so I'm looking forward to getting back to making some more wonga for my own bank balance, and so hopefully I'll be doing some of the business development and sales stuff, which has been my career up to now. Right now, I'm working, advising one of the leading relocation companies here in Barcelona, and hopefully I'll be doing more of that kind of stuff. So that's
okay. Well, that's really cool to hear, and very, I've been a huge supporter for viewers and big champion, and I want to say thank you for all the work that you've done. You've always been somebody who can easily assuage the concerns that people's vote doesn't matter. You also deal effectively with people who have different views from you, but you still encourage them to vote. I thought that was very classy of you. And it's great to hear that people here in Barcelona who are taking their time to make a difference actually see the results.
Well, one of the great things about doing this in Barcelona is that we have a really fantastic set of US citizens living here. They love Barcelona and they love living in Catalonia, and they also see that a stable America is good for everyone, and they're willing to do a bit of work to help make that happen. So I found that I've been surrounded by great support the whole time. And one of the things that was really rewarding for me was that we were in the papers around the election 2020, and the day after the election I went to the local market, Concepcion, which is around the corner from us, and the people there, the local people, were so lovely to us. I will never forget it. And so it's been rewarding on every level. We're just trying to impress on people that democracy is hard won, and so they should exercise their rights and get out there and vote. That's what we're about. So no, it's been wonderful, but it's time to move to the next thing. And I'm very, very confident that the new set of people coming in are going to do a amazing job. And last thing, Victor, you've been amazingly supportive of Democrats Abroad always, and Metropolitan Magazine, and your forums and the events you organize are fantastic. So thank you.
Okay. Well, you're very welcome, and I look forward to working with the new set of directors, or what do you call them? Executive committee?
Yeah, the XCOM. It's all very grand.
Okay, the XCOM, and making sure
I'm looking forward to meeting the new chair. Actually,
yes, I hope to meet the new chair as well. And if there's anything else that you'd like, Chris, we extend a warm welcome, and the microphone is yours whenever you want it here at Metropolitan. Thanks for all that you've done these past 4 years. Lots of hugs to your wife, who's always kind of behind the scenes, but I know she's pivotal and fundamental in getting the word out there and moving the initiatives, as well as the whole team that's always kind of been there.
And big thanks from me to all of the people in Barcelona, everyone, the Democrats Abroad, but all the local people, the various media outlets, everyone who's given us a bit of a hand over the past few years. It's been really, I could not be more grateful. And let's move on, and let's keep Barcelona moving along as this wonderful, amazing city that we all love, and keep Catalonia to the fore when it comes to democracy.
Fantastic. What a great way to finish it. I'm not going to even try to top that. All right, Chris, thank you so much. And I'll be seeing you around soon. Make sure you're at the next happy hour.
Yeah, see you soon. See you very soon. Bye-bye. Bye.